And there's a shot earlier of the Rockets preparing for action. And we've been waiting for this day for a long time. It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here in the start of a new season. Along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. What an exciting game opening night in the NBA. Let's check out the starting lineups. First for the Bobcats. Pairing in the backcourt, it's Walker and Henderson. And playing at the center position, the premier low-post weapon out of Prentice, Mississippi, Big Al Jefferson. Then there's Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, and it's Morris in at the 4. And looking at the Rockets, Brooks is out there with Harden. And it's Howard in at the 5, roaming the paint. Then there's Chandler Parsons, and it's Camby in at the 4 slot.
Well, you know, this last offseason, the Bobcats announced their intention to change the team name to the Hornets, reclaiming the name of the original Charlotte franchise that left for New Orleans in 2002.
And just like New Orleans chose a name, the Pelicans, that has local significance, the Hornets, a historical reference to Charlotte's rebellious fighting spirit during the American Revolution, Steve. And you were just telling me about this. Fascinates you.
It does. I'm an American history buff, Kevin, and I'm also an NBA history buff. And you think back to the Hornets in Charlotte originally, they sold out for 9 straight seasons. So the Hornets nickname absolutely belongs in Charlotte.
Good on the shot. And here's Walker. He kicks it to Kidd-Gilchrist. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Kidd-Gilchrist has got himself on the board with 3 there. Charlotte on D. Brooks outside. Back to Harden. It's stolen by Morris. Here's Henderson, and he banks in the layup.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
Harden with it. Now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Kevin McHale.
I asked him what their focal point would be defensively, and he said that Al Jefferson is at the top of their scouting report. With his smooth, low-post repertoire and mid-range shooting touch, he can put up points in a hurry. He said they'll try to steer him to his left hand as much as possible and just hope for the best. Kevin, we'll see if they can force him into a tough night.
Thank you, Doris. Al Harden after the missed 3 from Morris. Here's Howard. Another miss by Houston.
You know, coming into the league, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was the small forward who could give you a little bit of everything. And that's exactly what he did in his rookie season with the Bobcats.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Howard. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And you think of the comparisons for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. He reminds a lot of people of Gerald Wallace. What about you?
I like that comparison, quite honestly. Wallace probably the best player in Bobcats franchise history, Kevin, and both terrific athletes with major motors. Guys that you didn't have to rev up. Good defenders and rebounders. I think that's a realistic comparison.
And he knocks down the first one.
Tell you what, you've got to give the Houston Rockets a lot of credit, guys. After losing their franchise players to injury and age back in '09, they've managed to rebuild this team without tanking for lottery picks or going all the way to the bottom of the heap. Very impressive.
And so Howard nails both of them. And for the Rockets, they've been very shrewd acquiring undervalued players, trading for draft picks. Steve, all in the hopes of swinging big trades for superstars.
Well, and then when they acquired James Harden, they finally got a cornerstone player. Now all of a sudden you throw in Dwight Howard, you've got another foundational player. So all these years of tinkering and trading and moving picks and moving players, it's finally paid off, and now he's got the team he was hoping to put together.
The Rockets have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Parsons with it, picked up by Kid Gilchrist. And it's out of bounds to the Rockets as Houston retains possession.
And a chance to see where James Harden ended up in the rankings last season. 5th in scoring, 7th in steals, and he was very solid from the foul line, closing out the year among the top 20 in terms of free throw percentage.
And Steve, he was definitely one of the most reliable, efficient scorers in the NBA. I mean, his top 5 ranking put him right there in the ranks of the elite scorers.
Morris passes to Walker. Lets the 3 fly, and it's good. Walker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Rockets trail by 3. Brooks with it. 5 points in the game. Harden right side for the 3. Houston gets it back. Howard kicks to Harden. Parsons for 3. Back to Harden. On the wing, Brooks. And finally they hit one. Brooks has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
He shouldn't be afraid to take that shot more often. He's solid from there.
Outside, Kid Gilchrist. The 3-pointer, no good.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
And that one's good.
Well, that shot keeps him at 100% from the field this quarter.
First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Here's Henderson. Here's Jefferson, and the layup's good off the glass. Jefferson's got his 2nd basket of the night.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
Yeah, me too, Clark. I think anytime you have success pounding the ball inside, you got to continue to go to the well.
And the shot is good.
And very quickly here in the first quarter, pronounced advantage for them on the glass.
Yeah, that's a trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well.
You know, when you have the speed that Kemba Walker does, it's very tough for defenders to stay in front of you. Then you add the incredible ball handling skills. You can see why he blossomed last year.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Steve, you mentioned Walker's speed and tight handle. Last season, he did a much better job, Clark, of taking advantage and then finishing around the rim.
Yeah, I think in his 2nd season, he was able to figure out how to adjust to the NBA size. And one thing he's always done well is take care of the basketball. The way he keeps it on the string, really got a rush hour type handle. Very steady with the ball in his hands and never lacks for confidence either.
So a whole new group on the floor now for Charlotte. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Hey guys, I got a chance to hear what Steve Clifford was saying to his team. He wants this game played at breakneck pace as much as possible. He was very clear, saying the fast break is going to be our best friend today. Kevin, we'll see how that strategy pans out as this game develops.
Thanks again, Doris.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
Got that one up quick. Gordon's got himself on the board with 3 there.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the 3-point variety.
Yeah, and unless they make some rotations and closeouts defensively, there's more to come, Clark.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And Charlotte again with the bucket.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, if you just looked at assists as the measuring stick, they've been by far the better team.
Here's Beverly. Fires from 14. Green with the rebound.
You know, that mid-range jump shot is not his strong suit, even when he gets a good look like that.
Stolen by Jeremy Lin. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And out of bounds as the Bobcats gain possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Bobcats leading by 5. Clark, their offense has been great here.
Yeah, I love the way they've looked. Really strong and together.
Yeah, and very aggressive, too. Keeping the defense off balance with their ball movement. I like the way they look.
Now the feed to Casper. Shot to stop the run, and the layup is up and in. Caspy's got his first 2 points. Here's Antetokounmpo. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. It's the Bobcats up 6, and we'll be back right after this.
Tune in for a scary night of basketball. Halloween in the NBA. Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks take on Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls. This Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for Charlotte.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Here's Walker.
Well, for the Bobcats, some tough luck in the lottery the last few seasons. They had the worst record in 12, but they missed out on Anthony Davis, the second worst record last season, but they fell to the 4 pick. And they need so much help, but the lottery fortune hasn't gone their way.
And out of bounds as the Bobcats gain possession. The Bobcats making a switch here. Charlotte leading by 6. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. He tries for 3. And it's Lin with the rebound. And Clark, you mentioned the struggles last year for the Bobcats. Last season, the worst defense, second worst in rebounding, and Steve, the third worst in offense.
They just didn't have enough talent. It's been a long struggle for this team the last few years. The roster is starting to grow. It's starting to build, but there's still a lot of work to be done in Charlotte.
Took him no time at all on that one. Haywood's got his first bucket of the night. Now, here is Harden. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. We play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Howard, that's good.
That's some more rugged play from them inside. They have a decent edge in rebounds thus far.
And that hard work on the boards needs to continue. That could be what swings this game eventually.
That's good.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Morris is checked in for Brendan Haywood. And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, as everyone knows, the Houston Rockets landed the big free agent signing of the summer in Dwight Howard. And perhaps no one had a bigger role in that than Rockets forward Chandler Parsons. The two didn't know each other especially well a year ago, but Parsons called and texted Dwight every day, answering questions and selling Dwight on his chance to win with the Rockets. Chandler even changed his agent to Howard's agent early on. Guys, they've become friends, and certainly no one more excited to have D12 in a Rockets jersey than Chandler Parsons.
They could make a great tandem. Thanks, Doris. And here is Brooks after Gerald Henderson hitting the 3. Harden outside, fires from deep. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Kid Gilchrist has got his third rebound tonight, and they're starting off this season against this Houston Rockets team.
And these interconference matchups are important, Kevin. You only see the club twice all season, and it feels a little different. You want to go out and really put on a good performance.
Here is Harden following the basket by Gerald Henderson. It's Harden with the drive. Parsons on the wing. It's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession.
Taking a look here at some numbers for Kemba Walker. Very nice season for him last year. Last year averaged 17 points per game, 5 assists and 3 rebounds. Tell you what, he's been scary good over that run of games, just taking his usual brand of stellar offense and even building on it.
And Steve, you know that's not easy to do considering the high level he already plays at on an everyday basis. To move the needle another notch higher is special.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Steve was talking about, Clark, just moments ago about not playing each other often because they're in different conferences. Wouldn't you say that affects the way a game will play out?
Most definitely, Kevin. I mean, when it's an opponent you see so little of, there's always a feeling out process, and I'm sure that'll be the case today for both teams.
Charlotte making a switch here. Jefferson's checked in. Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. 5th on the list, James Harden.
Yeah, he had a terrific year last year, consistent, and ended up being one of the best scorers in the league.
And Morris comes over to help. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Camby. Jefferson with some nice D. Bobcats leading by 7. Walker dishes to Morris. Stolen by Camby. Parsons with it. Now guarded by Henderson. Jefferson against Howard. Bank shot. No good.
Well, you think back to 2011 and 12 when Dwight was playing his final season in Orlando. He just didn't know what was going to happen. He would say one thing, then do another. It turned into a long saga. And then it's kind of the same thing happened last year with the Lakers.
And here is Howard after Gerald Henderson hitting the 3. Good on the shot. And with that, the Charlotte lead is cut down to 8 on the bucket from Howard.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
Well, getting back to Howard, he said he knew where he would sign, but there were all sorts of possibilities as he went Clark through free agency.
Yeah, Kevin, the contenders and pretenders ended up being clear fairly fast. I mean, as you might imagine, when a franchise player hits the market, there's a lot of interest, but ultimately he ended up here, which seems to be a really good fit for him.
So Charlotte calls timeout. They're first.
Guys, it didn't take long for Harden to show that he could carry a team. The first game of last season, he made a statement in his first game as a Rocket, putting up a monster stat line.
For the Bobcats, Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Jefferson. Chris Middleton comes in for Morris, and it's Draymond Green in for Kid Gilchrist. Near the three-point line, it's Gordon, and some very quick points for him on that possession. Gordon's got 5. Rockets trail by 10. Cannon, the pass to Harden, and the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
A look here at last year in the NBA, where the Bobcats ranked. 6th in blocks, 8th in lowest turnovers per game. As far as free throw shooting as a team goes, not a strong suit. Top 20 in the league. A little bit of work to be done there.
And what really stands out is the blocks for me, because that's a team that really dominated the paint area. And when they were on top of their game, they were very physical. They fronted the post a lot, forced some difficult shots at the rim. And due to their length and their size, they were able to block a lot of shots down there.
Jones checked in for the Rockets. Caspi comes in for James Harden.
Terrence Jones. Omri Caspi.
And Ashik kicks to Williams. Ashik dishes to Williams. 6 to shoot. No good with the triple. Here's Charlotte. They're on a 13-5 run here. Open shot, Green, and Charlotte again with the bucket.
Very clever passing. That was just beautifully done.
Rockets trail by 12. Here's Cannon from outside the arc, and that one's good. Cannon's got his first 3 points of the game.
The offense really coming around here in the second.
Up above 50% shooting now for the game, guys, and they'll definitely take that. It's defense where they need to key in.
Houston's gone 3 of 5 beyond the arc since the start of the second quarter. Over to the wing. Outside Williams. There's the triple. Another triple from Cannon. Cannon's got 6 points.
And you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Bobcats leading by 6. Antetokounmpo kicks to Green. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Houston's gone 4 of 6 from long range in the second quarter. Solid shooting. Stolen by Haywood. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. And he gets the bucket. And the Bobcats lead by 8.
Yeah, he put himself in great position to finish that break off, guys.
Yep, right to the rack.
Williams outside. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Reggie Williams.
Green with the ball. Antetokounmpo passes to Middleton. And the 3 off target. Second quarter ends in a tight one. Bobcats lead by 5. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, guys, I'm here with Al Jefferson. And Al, what's the strategy been so far defensively, and what needs to happen in the second half in that regard?
Well, we just got to help. We can't let everybody beat us. Everybody got to help, and on the defense end, and give them the key to protect the paint.
Pick your poison. Can't let everybody beat you, Al. We appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's the first game of the NBA season, but on the halftime report, we're already in mid-season form. The Bobcats taking care of business. This is a tough matchup for them on paper, but they've been up to the challenge. They've gotten some great minutes out of Gerald Henderson. We all know he can deliver huge performances, and he could be on his way to another. And midway through, the Rockets are still alive. Wiping the glass defensively. Look, no streaks. They're preventing any second-chance opportunities. Aaron Brooks playing with confidence. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? We'll get things going with a look at teams playing later tonight. The Pistons playing at the Palace of Auburn Hills as they go up against the Wizards. A 7:30 Eastern tip time. And one game also on the docket. The Miami Heat will go up against the 76ers out in Philadelphia. The 7 p.m. Eastern tip time is set. And now, here's what's going on in the rest of the NBA. For the Celtics, they'll be up against the Raptors in Toronto. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock Eastern. And now back to the game in Houston. Great to have you with us. See you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
The Toyota Center, the scene for tonight's game as we bring you back to Houston, Texas.
Tremendous output from Brooks. He has 14 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
Well, they might want to think about setting a few more screens for him to try to give him another open look or two.
Charlotte leading by 5.
You know, the Rockets turned a lot of heads last season, guys, as they got back into the playoffs after missing out the year before. A big part of that was how they played at home. They were very tough to beat in Houston.
Now Brooks. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist missing from long range. Misses the step-back jump shot.
Well, that's an excellent challenge right there. Good job contesting that shot by the defender.
There's Walker with the three. Henderson dishes to Kidd-Gilchrist. Jefferson with it. Now guarded by Parsons. Expanding his range. That's good from Kidd-Gilchrist on the assist by Walker. Walker's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. And the Rockets, as you said, Clark, strong at home, and that can be seen in that record of 29-12. Just the kind of home record, Steve, you need to get into the playoffs.
And it was the way the Rockets played that was so impressive, Kevin. They attack the rim, and then they kick out and bomb a ton of threes. And I think that's the kind of attack, the kind of style that can really bring a friendly crowd and bring them to their feet. And I thought that the Houston fans got more and more animated as the season went on.
That shot wide open. 6 points for James Harden.
A wide open three. They need much better communication defensively.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, guys, for Dwight Howard, a perfect fit with head coach Kevin McHale. So often, head coaches are former point guards, but in McHale, a Hall of Fame power forward. Howard has a coach he can quite literally see eye to eye with. And McHale is one of the all-time great post-up scorers. And for Dwight Howard, he said that was the biggest reason for his decision to come to Houston, saying, quote, "I felt he could really help me develop in the post." Guys, back to you.
You don't see many great back-to-the-basket big men these days, Doris. He is one of the best, certainly.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
No question. Pound it into the painted area and continue to put pressure on that defense.
Now here's Walker, and the shot is good. Walker's got 6.
Well, I'm not necessarily a big fan of him shooting that shot, but they did give him the
sidelines.
Hey guys, I got a chance to hear what Steve Clifford was saying to his team. He wanted them running a more structured offense. He said, this isn't playground basketball. We need guys working together to create better opportunities. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Harden draws the double. Three-pointer. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Well, James Harden, clearly one of the most potent offensive threats in the game. He do it all. Pass, shoot with range, get to the rim. He led the league in free throw attempts last season with over 10 a game.
That's not his shot at all. Way too far beyond his range.
On the wing, Brooks for the lead. It's rebounded by Charlotte.
Well, the shot was there for him, and he had to take it. I don't care if he didn't convert. He's got to take that every time.
And we may have an injury here. That does not look good.
Oh, boy, this is something you hate to see, Clark.
You know, it sure is. Injuries, though, are really an unfortunate part of the game, inevitable at times. Hopefully, it's nothing serious.
Charlotte making a switch.
he made is a defensive one. He talked to the team about closing out much more quickly on their perimeter shooters. He thinks they've been giving them too much space out there. Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris. It's Harden with the drive. It's slammed in by Howard. And Steve, this game has a lot of character here in the third period.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I love seeing this type of action. A competitive, compelling matchup. A lot of lead changes here so far.
Yeah, 6 in total, Clark. So this has been a great game. Both teams playing hard and really competing out there.
Well, you know, Charlotte knew they had to improve in a lot of areas, and defense was one of them. Drafting a guy like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist who can cause trouble, but unfortunately they still have a lot of work to do, as they were still one of the worst defensive teams in the league in efficiency.
Bobcats trail by 3. And Walker kicks to Haywood. Pass to Middleton. And here's Walker outside. Canby with the block.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Now here's Parsons. And there's Canby. That's good on the assist from Parsons. Now it's a 5-point Rocket lead. Well, Clark, as you said, the Bobcats started to add more defensive players to their roster, but had a lot of trouble in a lot of different areas. Gave up, Steve, way too many threes. The second worst defensive three-point percentage in the NBA.
Yeah, the defense is going to have to improve, Kevin. There's no question. It's going to be a team effort. You've got to have 5 guys on the floor committed. It's going to take some time, but they've been drafting defensive-minded players, and that should help.
Charlotte calls timeout.
Well, just too many easy buckets, you know, in and around the paint. So he wants to put a stop to it. This timeout is going to be used to try to tighten up the defense.
Guys at this level, they won't miss often if you keep giving up looks inside. And they're paying for that right now. Good timeout here.
Jefferson is checked in for Charlotte. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Kevin McHale address his team. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Brooks. Coach obviously has a ton of faith in his offensive ability and shared that faith with the rest of the players by insisting they get him more involved. The other thing he discussed with them was that they should be forceful with the ball. He said if they see a gap in the defense, they should go straight to the bucket. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Okay, time now for an injury report.
Kevin, the head athletic trainer of the Bobcats, was able to update me on this situation. A very somber tone over here on the sideline, guys. It does not look to be good news at all. He won't be returning in this one, and it seems like he'll be out of action for quite some time.
All right, Doris, thank you. And Steve and Clark, certainly not the news his fans were hoping for.
No, Kevin, it's, you know, guys, it's really too bad. Just a terribly unfortunate turn of events here.
Well, yeah, you hate to see that happen. And in the meantime, you know, his team now has to compensate for the loss. Let's see how they step up.
And we've got an injury out on the floor. Very unfortunate as always, guys. Don't like to see this.
Yeah, he's not happy right now. You can see it's really hurting.
Sure can, Steve. I mean, it's difficult to say exactly how serious it is, but hopefully we'll have an update soon.
And here comes Parsons leading the fast break. Harden with the stop.
Plays a really difficult cover because if he gets anywhere near the rim, he can finish. Great strength, the ability to convert in the lane. Boy, that's tough to defend.
And applies even if he has to absorb contact getting to the rim.
Charlotte calls timeout.
You know, if you're in a fight to get into the playoffs out west like the Rockets were last season, you have to make sure you get every win you can when you play against the Eastern Conference. Their success against the Eastern Conference was a big part of how they squeezed that 8th seed.
Chris Middleton's checked in for Jefferson. Here's the list of players who had the most steals in the NBA last season. 5th best, Kemba Walker.
He showed such great defensive instincts last year. Just a terrific defensive player.
There's 49 seconds left in the third quarter. Well, Clark, you were talking about the Rockets against the East, a record of 21-9 against the conference. And Steve, it was one of the better marks in the West.
Yeah, it was the same win total as the Clippers and Thunder, who both won their divisions. So, only the Spurs and Grizzlies did better in that regard. And the Rockets were full of scoring potential, and I think just happened to catch teams in the East off guard a little bit.
Bobcats trail by 15. He dishes it to Morris. Stolen by Harden. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock.
Bobcats foul call. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. That's his first personal foul.
The Rockets have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
2 shots.
That free throw good from Beverly. Both free throws good from Beverly. The Bobcats shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Out to the wing. Stolen by Jeremy Lin. Now in transition. It's Lin. Here we go. And he gets it to go. And the Rockets lead by 19.
Everything's falling now, and this lead continues to increase.
Yeah, it's just way too hard to keep up with a scoring pace like this. I mean, and that's why the defense is having a tough time.
Here's Beverly. They get the rebound. No good on that last second attempt there. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit.
Bring your costume. It's Halloween in the NBA. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers this Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific.
And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
Really excellent feed here, and I know we're used to seeing this guy score, but he is no slouch at creating passes and opportunities for his teammates, and he showcases that skill right here on that replay.
Rockets leading by 19 points. Now, here is Harden. Good. Harden's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Rockets.
I love it when a player like this shakes off a poor first half and comes back strong like he has, showing a lot of confidence in his game.
A chance here to get a quick injury report. Now an update on Ben Gordon from our Doris Book.
Kevin, the head athletic trainer of the Bobcats, was able to update me on this situation. It's bad news, I'm afraid. He's saying that it looks like a broken ankle, which can truly be a devastating injury. A rocky start to the year with an injury like this coming so early in the season. Hopefully they'll be able to recover.
All right, Doris, really appreciate you finding out how he's doing.
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope he's back out on the court soon.
Rehabbing is a tough process, Steve, and with any luck for him, it'll be a short one.
And here's Charlotte. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
Boy, they've really dominated on the glass, and of course they've done a lot of good things here tonight, but the rebounds have played a major factor.
Hey, Steve, you know rebounding always one of the key barometers in determining the victor.
Zeller with it, and it's Harden picking him up. Kidd-Gilchrist, no luck.
Not a bad look at the hoop, just couldn't get it to bounce in for him.
Beverly, and there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
And the Bobcats with a new group in. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Feeds it to Henderson. And a miss there on the triple.
Remember, he was hot early, 3 3-pointers in the first half, but he may have to start putting the ball on the floor. His shot's not working here in the second.
Bobcats have gotten off to a rough start in the fourth quarter, going 0 for 4 so far. Back to Walker. Great D that time from Caspi.
Really high-quality shot there, just a little off with his release.
That miss right there will definitely leave him shaking his head.
Here's Kanan. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Boy, the pick, and with that weak screen, I use that term loosely. He had nothing to spring him open. It was ineffective.
And that one's good.
For 3.
Now Williams. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. And there's the defensive 3-second call. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Rockets?
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And they're also really getting out in transition and scoring some hoops in the fast break tonight.
And the technical free throw is good.
Steve Clifford has 13 years of experience as an NBA assistant coach with stops in New York, Houston, Orlando, and Los Angeles, and now as the new coach in Charlotte. I think he's the guy that's going to do well there.
We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Howard, the pass to Kanan. Back to Howard. Can't get it to go. And it's the Bobcats taking it the other way. Kid Gilchrist with it. Guarded now by Aaron Brooks. Jefferson gets the bucket. And Clifford, the 6th head coach in the Bobcats' 10-year history, Steve.
Well, he's a defensive-minded coach. Jeff Van Gundy clone, someone who's worked for Van Gundy in Houston, but has always been highly regarded around the league. I think he's going to make a good impact in Charlotte.
Dwight Howard is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and, you know, when he's healthy, he can really anchor a defense inside with his rebounding and shot blocking. A real force in the paint.
And that one misses. And Clark, I know for Howard, you said when he's right. But the last few seasons, Steve, I think that's become an issue. Injuries have been a problem.
For sure, his production has waned. He had the disc issue in his back that numbed out one of his legs last year, had to have back surgery. So, you know, you think about everything else, the torn labrum in his shoulder. He's taken a pounding over the years. Not a good foul shooter, so people really hit him hard and force him to the line. You wonder if maybe that has something to do with the injuries.
Well, you know, when you're a team that's young and can't score, it's hard to win anywhere, especially on the road, though. The Bobcats just were often overmatched when they were on the road.
Brooks gets the screen from Howard. Brooks dishes to Camby. Nice D from Morris. Bobcats trail by 21. Launches it. Kept alive. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Lays it up and banks it in.
Did you see the defense get caught standing around that time, giving up an easy second chance bucket?
Simply need more of an effort on the boards there, Steve.
Going back to the Bobcats on the road, it was definitely their undoing as they ended up with a league worst 6 road wins on the season. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, but it's just reality, too. I mean, when you don't have players who can score and attack and create offensively, you're going to struggle on the road. And they just didn't have anybody who's capable of carrying their team through the inevitable adversity that hits when you're on the road.
Keith Morris. Zeller comes in for Kid Gilchrist. And Antetokounmpo's checked in for Gerald Henderson. And Middleton subbed in for Kemba Walker.
No matter who it is because that kind of defense is not going to cut it.
Rockets leading by 18. Brooks outside. Howard setting the pick for Brooks. Doubled by Middleton. Brooks kicks to Howard. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
Bobcats trail by 18. The dish to Zeller. Charlotte moving the ball around. Shots good by Middleton.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. Defense hasn't been able to set up.
Timeout called the Rockets. They're ahead by 15. Brooks outside. Brooks gets the screen from Howard. He used that pick to get in close. 16 points for Brooks.
Well, it's a wrap, fellas. No way you come back in this one.
Not anymore. Any chance of that happening went out the window a while ago.
And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
Well, what we saw here tonight is one team just had everything going for it and the other didn't. Huge margin of victory for the Rockets.
And Clark, their hard work on the glass paid off.
You know, they both are excellent rebounding teams. I thought it was a tough battle underneath both ways.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And when you play a team twice like these two will this season, always nice to win the first one as they'll go up 1-0 in the season series against the Bobcats.
Fantastic show put on. What an amazing game all around it was for James Harden. You can't look back at too many major moments in this game and not see him being a part of it. He was all over this one.
And good on the basket. Book it. And the Rockets lead by 19.
They certainly haven't let these fans down tonight. Been a fun night to be in the building.
It has been. I mean, the atmosphere has been great, and no doubt that helped with the winning effort.
Seems like he's gotten every single rebound today.
Glass eating at its finest. I mean, you're not going to see a guy with 20-plus boards too often. That's an impressive number.
Now here's Lynn. Soft touch off the glass.
They didn't take their time wrapping this game up. They pretty much did it in a hurry.
Yeah, they had a nice spurt to polish this one off.
Offensive rebound, Jefferson. And that's off the glass and in.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Lynn the pass to Jones. And the layup is good.
Can't pass up that kind of look.
The Bobcats shooting 40% in the fourth. Baseline try. No luck. Lynn with it. Passes it to Keenan. And they go to the intentional foul.
And they continue to foul, but this one's pretty much over.
Yeah, they're just extending this. We need running time in effect here, Steve.
So we see the Rockets taking the win here. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
And now down to Doris, who is courtside, standing by with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
Gentlemen, I'm here with James Harden. Congratulations on the win, James. And what did it take for the team to make the push necessary to put yourselves in position to win tonight?
Just being aggressive. I told my guys on the court that we had to make a run, and it had to be a good one. Defensively, we did a pretty good job down the stretch. We got some shots to fall, and we came with the victory.
It was a decisive run, James. Thanks for the time. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. Now, our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden.